Hello, everyone. I am Tina.
And I'm Robert.
That's right. That's Tina and Robert. You can see them here, getting to know your teachers or tutors online. We're really excited to be your online English tutors or teachers. And I'd like, again, hello, dear learners and Anglophiles. I had to say that, Anglophiles. What is Anglophile? You can see in red, Anglo refers to English and phile refers to lovers. So, lovers of the English language. So, you probably noticed I'm Tina and he's Robert. Both of us have been teaching ESL, English as a second language, EFL, English as a foreign language, and ESP, English for specific purposes, for about 9 years, give or take. Now, I don't know if you know the difference between ESL and EFL. Do you know the difference between ESL and EFL? I like his face. He's just very, very, very confused right there. No, okay. This is funny. Okay. ESL refers to English as a second language in a country where English is the second language. So you can say that in India, for example, they speak their regular language, Hindi or Punjabi or whatever language they speak, and Pali or Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very, very old. So, and then English is actually a second language in the country. But EFL, English as a foreign language, it refers to you're learning it, but it's not a requirement in the country. You don't need to learn to speak English to live in that country. So that is why it is a foreign language, not second language. I think English is a second language, not second language. Could be a second language in Canada, or French could be a second language in Canada. What do you think? English is a second language in America, right, Robert?
Probably, but
Yes, that's why it's confusing. And of course, ESP is not extrasensory perception, like with your mind, you know what I mean? But for specific purposes, this is for adults. You learn specific things like how to do something in your job. Let's say English for aviation, English for hotel. What are the English? Business English, or taking English to improve your test scores,
presentations.
presentation, public speaking, and so on. So I hope this is clear. Okay, well, I've taught in Canada, so I taught ESL, and I taught in South Korea and in Thailand. Where did you teach?
I've taught in South Korea.
Yeah, so he only taught in South Korea. Okay, so here are some of the questions you might be interested to ask us. I will start with question one. I will be reading question one, which is made up of 3 points here. So each one of us will be answering the questions one by one. So Robert will start, and then I will answer the same questions. So tell me about yourself. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? In how many countries and cities have you lived so far in your life?
Well, I was born in Syracuse, New York. That's upstate New York. I was not born in New York City. And I grew up there my whole childhood. And I've lived in 4 countries and about 11 cities.
Wow, that sounds similar to me, huh?
Mhm.
Well, I was born in Bucharest, Romania, and I grew up there until I was about 13 years old. And then my family immigrated to Canada, and I grew up in Canada until I was an adult, and then I moved to countries. I've also lived in 4 countries and 11 cities, so we're very much on the same level. Oh my
Mhm.
God, that's amazing. That means that we have almost a similar lifestyle, or that's very good, huh?
Mhm.
Hopefully, yes. Question number two, it's your turn to ask.
What is your education background? From what university did you graduate? What were your major and minor? And what kind of English language teaching certification do you have?
Well, okay. I graduated from two universities. The first one was University of Alberta, and the second one was University of New England. The University of Alberta is from Canada, and the second one is from Australia. I have two bachelor's degrees. One is in science and the other one is in arts. In science, I studied zoology and physical sciences. In arts, I studied French language and literature and English. And I also have a master's degree. I don't have any English language teaching certification like TESOL or anything, but I finished a master's in applied linguistics from the University of New England from Australia. What about you?
Well, I got my undergraduate degree from SUNY Buffalo in Buffalo, New York, America. And my major was psychology and my minor was sociology. And I have a CELTA certificate, which is a certificate for English teaching of adults from Cambridge University.
So you took that one from,
I took it in Seoul, Korea at Yonsei University.
okay. I'm going to do question 3. What kind of teaching and tutoring experience do you have? What kind of EFL and ESP courses have you taught during your teaching career? And what are your favorite courses?
I started off teaching at ELS Chungno, and I was there for 5 years. I taught all 9 levels of conversation. I taught writing, reading, TOEIC, TOEFL. Um, then I went to Daejeon University for about 2 years. I taught business English there, which is EFL. And then I taught my other classes. Then I spent 7 years maybe at Hanyang University, where, oh, louder. um, okay. Okay.
Oh, and what are your favorite courses?
My favorite courses?
Yeah.
I enjoy teaching many of them.
I
don't know
think
what to
business
say.
English, you like business English a lot, right? Or you used to like business English. These days you might be interested in. I put him on the spot. Okay, I put him on the spot. What does that mean? I guess he wasn't prepared for that question, but that's okay. He loves to teach all of them, more or less. Okay. Okay, in my case, I was a private tutor, self-employed for 2 years in Canada after I graduated from my bachelor's degree, my second bachelor's degree. And then I moved to Korea. I lived in 3 cities in Korea, and I taught for 3 years. I taught at different private language schools, and then I moved to teach at technical college. I taught business English for 1 year, and I even taught kindergarten at a kindergarten school. So you can imagine I taught EFL courses, reading, writing, speaking, listening to all ages, pretty much from 3 years old to adults who are very old. I don't know, older than us. And then I started teaching at Hanyang University, and I think in the beginning of the 21st century. When was that? 2002 or 3? I don't remember. And I taught there for 3 years. I even taught high school for 2 years in Korea. And my last job, I finished last year. I taught at Chiang Mai Rajabat University for 8 years. So it's been a long time. I've taught all kinds of courses. And the previous job, I taught mostly English for specific purposes. My favorite courses were phonetics and philosophy. So I really learned a lot while preparing for that course. A lot. It took a lot of preparation. So you don't really don't have any favorite course, right?
No.
No, you like them all the same. Okay. All right. So you're going to read this one.
What kind of foreign language learning experience do you have? And how has this language learning experience helped you in your language teaching?
I'll answer that question first. Okay. Since I was a kid, I've had the chance to learn many different languages because in Romania we could start to learn a foreign language even in grade two. So, and we could add a different language at a different level, like middle school and high school and even university. So I started. My grandpa started teaching me French when I was 3 years old. In grade two, I had the opportunity to start Russian. Of course, I had forgotten some of it, but in the meantime, I remembered how to read and I remembered some stuff from Russian. In grade four, and I started learning English and German. Then when I moved to Canada, I took up French again. And then when I moved to Korea, I learned Korean, or even before moving to Korea, I learned Korean. And of course, in Thailand, I learned some Thai, very little, not a lot. Compared to Korea, I would say not very much. But Thai is a very, I think, much more difficult than Korean, in my view. How has this language learning experience helped me? Well, obviously, because I have a lot of experience with learning language from I guess I'm a foreigner for those people. Um, it's I can understand how English can be difficult for people who are learning English. So it is very important to have some language learning experience to teach a foreign language, from my point of view. I'm not sure if you agree with that. Do you agree with
Well,
that?
learning the different languages definitely helped me
Def,
understand
how did it
different
help?
facets,
How did it help you?
different aspects of the language,
You
how things
mean
work.
how you would how you would it would make it easier for you to learn, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right. So what languages do you have experience with?
Well, I studied Spanish in high school and then Latin, believe it or not.
I can't believe I never had Latin.
uh, Japanese in university because I thought I would go to Japan, but I went to Korea. So in Korea, I studied Korean, and then in Thailand, I studied Thai. However, I'm not a very good speaker at any of those languages, unlike my wife. And but it taught me a lot about how uh, languages work and uh, patience. Everyone's different in how they learn a language.
Oh my God. But I can't say that I know all of them at the same level. I could even say that I can understand Spanish or Italian and Portuguese because of my knowledge of French and Romanian. But I cannot say I speak them, but I can definitely understand them. Even German, I can understand a little bit more, but I can't say that I can speak it. But reading, the reading and writing component, even Russian, I can say I can read and understand some of it, but I can't speak. And my listening, I can pick out words. So I think the best languages I can say English, Romanian, French, and Korean, just barely conversational. Barely conversational at this point. Thai language, oh my God, barely conversational. Very, very little. Okay, next question. What are some of your strengths and weaknesses as a teacher or tutor? How do you emphasize your strengths in your teaching? And what do you usually do to overcome your weaknesses in your teaching?
Um, Well, I am very patient as a teacher because, like I said, I am a slow language learner. It takes a lot of repetition for me to pick up a language. Um, as far as weaknesses, weaknesses of teaching, how to overcome it.
How do you
Well,
overcome you?
if you foresee problems, you spend time preparing.
But in your
And
case, what are some of your weaknesses? I know this
as a
is the
teacher,
yes.
oh, I'm a quieter person.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
see. He's very quiet. He's not outgoing, and takes you a lot of time to be funny, huh? Right?
mhm.
But for me, I just make a face, and I people laugh at me just by looking at my face. Hmm. So in my case, I think my strength is I try to um, encourage students to become better. What I mean by that is, even though they do very well, I think they can do a lot better than that. So I push them a lot. That's what I think my strength is. What do you think? Do you think that's?
Sure,
I think
that
I think
applies.
that's really important. I'm not happy just with average. For example, someone might pronounce this just average, the sentence just average. I would say, no, 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 you can do a lot better than that. So try to do it better. Or try to correct yourself when you realize the mistakes you're making. Always put a lot more emphasis on that. So that's my strength, I think, my biggest strength. My weakness, just the opposite of Robert. I'm not so patient. I expect too much sometimes from students. But once students get to know me a little better, they know that I am not as threatening or as, how would you call it? When they see me, they say, "Oh my God, she's such a hard teacher." But once they get to know me, they know that I am not as hard as I look. Sometimes I look so, oh, okay. And he looks like he's so peaceful and quiet, but you can have your, look at his face. Okay, that's it. Next question is yours to read.
What are some of your interests outside of your teaching profession? And how do these interests help you in your teaching or tutoring?
Well, I have many interests. I'm interested in uh, ancient history. I'm interested in uh, what would I call it? Alternative medicine or medicine in general. Um, Also,
Natural healing.
natural healing. I didn't mention that I have a science bachelor's of science. Did I mention that? I think I did. So I'm interested in science. I'm interested in literature, reading. Oh, my goodness, I used to be interested in writing poetry, but now I'm not so good at writing poetry. But reading, I love reading. So how can they help me in my teaching or tutoring? Because I'm interested in many different things. For example, not just one area. If I find an interesting article, I I try to look at it from a different point of view. So when I teach, I can bring that information from my interests inside the teaching, inside the tutoring. And if students can tell you about the philosophy course that I taught, that's definitely, they will definitely tell you, oh my God, she brings a lot of information from outside sources to class. And what about you?
I'm very interested in herbs and healthy lifestyle and
Mm,
detoxing.
yeah, me too. Because I'm with him.
hmm
He's the one pushing me.
That's
Yep.
right.
Hmm.
Also, very interested in ancient history, history in general, but I love to go visit megalithic ruins. And I'm a news junkie, so I'm interested
News
in
junkie.
all kinds of
He
topics. I've
he
read all
always
kinds of stuff.
he always keeps me up with what's going on, the latest in news, world news, and I keep him informed on domestic news because I know Romanian. He doesn't know Romanian, so probably you will have to learn. Yes, right? Okay. All right. So let's continue. Oh, in our spare time, we love to go for walks in a neighboring park with our two cats, Grandma Turtle and Grandson Red. Oh my God, we love those guys. They're so cute.
We enjoy bike riding in our small city.
That's right. Hopefully soon. We are happy to travel domestically or internationally as much as we can when we have free time available.
And we truly take joy in watching intriguing movies, series, documentaries, and YouTube videos.
Oh, we love that. We love
Mhm.
that. Oh, yeah. So, on the YouTube channel that we just started, we will be using a lot of YouTube videos or a lot of songs, video, movie trailers. What else? Music videos, artistic stuff, and talk about that and how you can incorporate that in your learning English by yourself. Oh, we love teaching and tutoring English to speakers of other languages because
This gives us a chance to meet people from many countries online, as well as in person if possible.
that's right. If they live very close to, right now we are living in Romania, if they live very close to Romania or in Romania, that's easier to meet uh, personally. It offers us an opportunity to learn about other cultures and lifestyles. So obviously, the very different people have different lives. We love to know as many people as we can this way.
Teaching also means learning for us. Preparing for lessons means learning something new every single time.
That's right. My experience, I never took philosophy in university, and my goodness, I was so excited about preparing a philosophy course for my for the university I worked at, and it was amazing. I learned so much while preparing. That's without goes without saying. And you learn about
Mhm.
architecture, right?
I had a class for architecture majors, so that was very interesting.
Or when we taught medicine, medical students, architecture students, engineering students. What kind of students? What kinds of students?
Well, I've tutored professionals,
Mm, mm.
accountants, lawyer, professors, and
That's
middle
ESP.
school and high school
That's
children.
ESP. This is what ESP is. This is
Mm.
English for specific purposes. This basically you teach English, but within a context, a specific context, like a subject, a course, and so on. This is the best way for us to earn a living that is suitable for our personal needs at this time in our life. Now, we say this time because we are not spring chickens anymore.
Mm.
Are you a spring chicken?
Not at all.
Now, do you know what a spring chicken is? But we have a saying in Romanian, I think, if I can translate that in English, it's the old chicken that makes the soup. It means that the old chicken has more fat, so the soup is tastier. Do you get that joke?
Mm.
So the spring chicken is beautiful, maybe
Mm.
there's young chickens, but the old chicken
Gets
is,
eaten.
yeah. Okay, let's forget about the chickens and the eating. Okay, it's a joke. Okay, I'm trying to lighten up the whole thing. So we're going to have a great time learning together on this YouTube channel or on our websites.
International learners, please visit us at
www.getic-onlineenglishttutoring.com.
Romanian learners, please visit us at
www.fierycrystalx-meditațienglezăonline.com. And of course, you may want to know why we have two different websites. It's because the Romanian speakers will be in our area, so we probably will have to meet them directly. For the international learners, we will have to meet you online on Skype or on Face. I think the Zoom that we're using right now. So that's why we have two different websites.
Please subscribe to our new channel.
And give us a thumbs up if you like what we do. And of course, we're not forcing you to give us a thumbs up. You may give us a thumbs up if you like us. You don't have to, please don't give us a thumbs down for no reason at all. Okay, just because you don't like us completely. I don't know, we watch YouTube videos, a
Did you?
lot of YouTube videos, and we don't understand why people give thumbs down to some videos. We don't. First, if you don't like them, just leave them alone. But always, give them a thumbs down for everything. Anyway, now he's really trying to rein me in. Okay, so that's it for now, everyone. So we'll say bye bye, and we'll see you next time when I'll be preparing more stuff. Thank you.